It's round 2 of the Formula 2 season in 2023. We leave Bahrain and head over to Saudi Arabia at the Jeddah Corniche circuit. So after Bahrain, where Boschon won the sprint race and Pourchaire won the feature, we move over to Saudi Arabia before a 2-week break before Australia, our first ever visit there, before a month off, and then Azerbaijan, Emilia-Romagna, Monaco and Spain round out the first half of the season. Then we go over to Austria, British Grand Prix as well on the 9th of July, Hungary and Belgium take us to the summer break before the Netherlands, Italy, and then a 2-month break before the season rounds out on the 26th of November in Abu Dhabi. It's Saturday and we're between practice 3 and qualifying for F1, which means it's time for the sprint race for Formula 2 Saudi Arabia. Let's take a look at the Jeddah Corniche circuit, a 3.836 mile circuit, 27 turns in total, one of the fastest street circuits on the F1 calendar, and it certainly is one of the most difficult to get right. It is a fascinating track. Start the lap then on the run down towards turn number 1. You've got DRS at this point as well. Use it to your maximum. It's a hard braking left turn, 90 degrees. Slam the brakes all the way down. 3rd gear. Casually hit the throttle before a very tight turn 2 right-hander. Accelerate down through 3. Now it's 4, 5 and 6. The beginning of the sort of Mickey Mouse sections as well. The track now is on itself. It's quite hard to keep a rhythm flowing as well as you're bouncing off towards the barriers as high as you possibly can. Be careful not to exceed the track limits like that there, but the FIA are usually okay with it because it's such a difficult track to get right as well. They don't police it if you're forced off wide. Now into the banking hairpin turn 13, rising in as well. It's just a little bit of degree of banking, but it's amazing to get an overtake there. Hurtle down out towards 7th gear as well. Back up towards one of the tightest chicanes on the track. Slam on the brakes down to 4th gear, flip the car into the right, then the left as you're gradually accelerating, opening up your DRS once more as you hurtle down. This is the most dangerous part of the track. It's a blind entry to the corner. This is where Schumacher crashed back in 2021, causing the red flag. Flick the car in, hope it stays, then bang on the throttle. Now you're flat out all the way down, turns 25, 26 as well. Flat out with the DRS. Of course, Leclerc and Verstappen playing chicken. Hamilton and Verstappen making contact. It's a famous part of the track. Hurtle down then. Slam on the brakes, play the DRS chicken, 3rd gear corner through turn 27, flat out now, 5th gear, 6th gear, 7th gear with the DRS open. You reach 8th gear as you cross the line now, and that is a lap of the Jeddah Corniche circuit. Hello everybody and welcome to the F2 sprint race, and at the moment the graphics still showing everything from what happened in qualifying yesterday. They haven't yet changed over, but alongside me in the commentary box is Cynthia. Joining us for Saudi Arabia is Richie as well. Good morning, Cynth. First time we've seen you on the coverage this weekend. You've been busy yesterday and you're back for the F2 races. F2 in Saudi Arabia equals drama all the time.
Yeah, definitely. Looking forward to this one. I think we can see a lot of great racing. Just a little bit nervous. I hope everyone's gonna be able to make it out in one piece. So let's hope we won't see any big crashes. Of course, that's the scariest part around this track.
Richie, welcome back to F2. We did a couple last year. Nice to have you. This is interesting because we've moved from PC F2 esports to real F2. What are you most looking forward to about this one here today?
Boschung starting on the front row.
That is going to be a good one, yeah.
I'm excited for, because he took double podiums, hasn't he, in Bahrain, so we could take a 3rd one in a row here in Saudi, which would be really nice. Obviously, in the main feature race, that'll probably be unlikely, but as he's starting 9th, but he did start, I think, 10th last time, didn't he, in Bahrain, but still managed to get like 7 positions on the first lap, so you never know, but it would be nice to see him back on the podium again, and also nice to see Jack Crawford on pole for the sprint race.
Yeah, we're looking at the results from qualifying right now on the screen because they haven't changed over just yet. This is how they stand going into the feature race tomorrow with Victor Martins on pole, Oliver Beerman being in second place. You can watch the highlights now, but it's time to cross over and get ready for the sprint race. Previously
in Formula 2.
Welcome to Formula 2 in 2023. This is the opening race day of the season. Good reaction time for Ralph Boschung, who maintains the lead.
Victor Martins forces Iwasa to the inside.
This is for second position.
Pourchaire goes down the inside.
And he's got second place. A superb race for Dennis Hauger. Ralph Boschung, he takes his maiden victory at the 96th attempt.
Better late than never.
The first feature race of the season. There's contact for Shaw goes round and Stanek goes off.
Oh my god.
The two Camposes go wheel to wheel. Zane Maloney from 18th to 3rd place. Come on! Teo Pourchaire, a dominant drive.
It's amazing. A lot of points, a lot of confidence as well.
and now.
We're hitting the streets of Jeddah.
It is extraordinary stuff.
There's no margin for error.
Right up to the wall and then some.
F2 in Jeddah, let's go.
On the shores of the Red Sea, Formula 2 returns for the third time in 18 months to a circuit that provides nothing but drama. Welcome to the Jeddah Corniche circuit in Saudi Arabia for the first race of the weekend. It's the F2 sprint race. This 6.174 kilometre circuit with 27 turns has provided action over the past 3 seasons. 20 laps is what we have today, with the race tomorrow being the feature at 28. 199.8 mile an hour in a Formula 2 car. That's how good this circuit is. In terms of action zones, well, last year, Doohan versus Novalak, right round the outside of turn number 1. Novalak tried to hold on, but Doohan had the corner and had the grip on the medium compound tyre. Down at turns 9 as well, Hauger versus Boschung as well. Hauger further back, Boschung just about holding on, but that was a good battle in the mid-pack. And down at turn 26 and 27, Hughes versus Armstrong. Armstrong on the inside being defensive, and Hughes slipping through on the inside. It's a fantastic circuit, and it really is a challenge for the drivers. The parade lap is moments away. Alongside me in the comment box, as we said, is Richie and Synthel as per usual. The sun beginning to set. We'll go into a twilight situation, and it's Jack Crawford on pole position. Synth, this is going to be very good if you're watching this in America. You've got a man on pole.
Yeah, definitely very interesting to see Crawford. Let's see if he can convert that pole position into a win. And with Boschung behind him, it could be very interesting. Boschung could possibly take the lead in the championship if he finishes ahead of Pourchaire. So I think we're in for a very interesting race.
We look down at the start line at the Red Sea in the side. This is how they line up on the grid then. Row 1 sees Jack Crawford on pole position for the first time as well, alongside his Ralph Boschung in the second place of the championship. In the second row, Kushmani starts in third, with Iwasa starting in 4th position. Third row of the grid sees Johan Jaruvula start alongside Jack Doohan as well. Doohan's looking to do one better than what he managed last year. Teo Pourchaire, the championship leader, starts 7th on the 4th row. Alongside him is Oliver Beerman as well. Beerman will have pole tomorrow. 5th place then for the row of the grid sees Frederick Vesti in 9th, and Victor Martin starting in 10th position, then falling back. Juan Manuel Correa starts 11th on row 6 alongside him Martin Leclerc, stopped in qualifying, causing a red flag, lost his fastest lap time. 7th row of the grid, Enzo Fittipaldi alongside Dennis Hauger as well, 13th and 14th. 8th row sees Zane Maloney alongside Clement Novalak, and then on row 9 of the grid as well, 17th for Roy Nazani, 18th for Isaac Hadjar, 10th row of the grid, 19th and 20th for Richard Verschoor and Mamul Cordeal. 21st row as well, 21st we see Roman Stanek and Brad Benedibes, 22nd to complete row 11 of the grid. Richie, turn 1 is always crucial here. A tight left before double right. It's going to be very interesting to see how the drivers manage it. F2, not F1, and we've seen red flags nearly every year we've been here. We could see it again in the sprint as the formation lap begins.
Well, if there was a red flag or even a safety car due to an incident in turn 1, with it being F2, with it being, you know, there's more cars than F1, and they're smaller, so everyone will be trying to huddle together, I wouldn't be surprised. I think it's definitely something that could happen. It'll probably be involved in either someone at the front or someone in the midfield, or I can't really see the back markers getting involved too much. When it comes to turn 1, they'll probably just want to sit back and actually hope the action unfolds ahead, gain a few positions maybe under incidents.
I love yeah, go on.
I don't know if I've reading this wrong, but I presumed Bem should have been starting in 9th today.
Yeah, should have, but I think post-qualifying penalties has put them down. Let's hear from our top 3 though.
Tires-wise, it's quite, you know, you can push almost every lap, so much grip on this track that you don't really slide, so you don't heat up the tires too much. So it's going to be a high-paced race, so mistakes will be happening, so you just got to take advantage of those and make sure you don't make any of them.
P2.
It's possible to overtake here. You can start 10th and win the race, so for sure it's good to start in the front, but we will try to yeah, the plan is to try and take the lead and try and make a gap, a bit like in Bahrain, but I think it's going to be a bit tougher this time.
P1.
Yeah, starting on pole, I never thought I'd imagine that in the first 2 F2 weekends, but yeah, I'm really excited. You know, we had good race pace in Bahrain, so I'm excited to start from the front, and you know, we'll see how it goes from there.
Since we even started back in 2021, the main race there, we didn't even get off the grid before we had an accident. Enzo Fittipaldi having a massive crash. He starts 13th in this race here today. Is that psychological trigger for him to come back to a track where he got put out for a long time, even into the start of last season he didn't race here? Is that something to come back and sort of conquer your demons?
I mean, to be honest, I think that crash was obviously not due to anything about this track. It was just something that could have happened everywhere, because obviously the car in front, I think, was it Pucher?
I think it was Pucher who smashed into yeah.
So those two were the collision at the start. I think there were 2 red flags in that race, but both not really due to this track, but one because, yeah, a staller and a big collision, and later on a crash right at the end of the race, so they just red flagged it. So that was very chaotic, but yeah, I don't think it's going to be too psychological for Fittipaldi. So yeah, because it could have happened at every track that race.
Josh says, I don't even want to think about what would happen if F3 raced here. Jess says it would be even more chaos if F3 were here. Something happened with the ARTs, I'll have a look. 5 could place grid pen, but that would be for the feature, right? There was post-qualifying things as well. If it affects the feature grid, it affects the sprint grid as well, because qualifying, you take the reverse top 10 and have that for the sprint. The feature race tomorrow changes.
I believe with the ARTs it was due to not handing back the use set of tyres after the qualifying. So they both got 5 places, and it'll affect the sprint and feature.
Vesti had one as well, I think. Yeah. Cedric Vesti, 5-place grid penalty. That's why Bam starts 8th and he starts in 9th.
Just a reminder about the lap counter. It doesn't go lap 1 out of 20. It's laps completed. So at the end of lap 1, we'll start lap 2, and the ticker will show laps completed 1 out of the 20. So we'll have to count up with you there, I'm afraid. It's the way the system works. Crawford on pole position then. Bosch alongside Mania Wassa, Jeruv Ladouan, Pucher ahead of Behrman Vesti. Martin's the top 10. The tail enders lining up here. Track temperature 32.2 degrees. Air temperature 26.6 degrees. Round 2 of the season. Race number 3. It is time for the sprint. Medical car in. Green flag with 3, 4, 5 lights on. With a very quick lights out in Jeddah. Great start from Jack Crawford's going to cut across Boschung. Here comes the MP immediately. Jeruva looking on the inside. Boschung's going to have to go side by side with Owasa. Owasa takes second position. Cutting off the track there on the inside was Victor Martins as well. They've all made it through turn 1 cleanly. Uphill towards turn number 4 then as well. And looking on the inside, that's Behrman on the inside making it 3 wide. Getting on the inside, forcing off the track, Jack Doohan. Behrman still round the outside. The track narrows in on itself. Through on the inside goes Martins. Behrman's down, Doohan's down. Fantastic start, and it's a clean one with Crawford leading the way.
Yeah, amazing start from Ollie Behrman, going up from 8th to 4th, I believe it was, on that opening lap. Went 3 wide into turn 4 and 5, so a big risk, but it paid off. I know Jack went off, but I presume that was more just to, I think it was less to avoid contact, but just so they could get through cleanly. And that is Doohan fighting back on Behrman as they come through. The main part of this will centering towards turn 22, and he backs off, so Behrman secures, the 6th place.
6th.
Yeah, there was Victor Martins right behind him. Jack Doohan dropped down to 8th. I thought it was maybe a little contact, but it was very close, at least between the 3 of them. I don't know why they made it 3 wide there, but somehow it managed to go well. Look, this is for the lead.
Oh, and that's Owasa trying to go through. It hasn't worked out just yet as well. Crawford still staying ahead, but Owasa is pushing hard. Here goes Boschung and Maney coming together. This is going to get tasty as they come down. No DRS for the opening 3 laps yet, so it's going to have to be on slipstream. But he's got him, Seth. He's got him. Crawford's going to have to go defensive. Owasa around the outside.
Oh, this is going to be close. There's no DRS just yet. He's going to go for the switchback and just with some slipstream. Is he going to try something in turn 1? He's really close behind him.
Slipstream all the way down towards turn number 1. Crawford's got the heavier fuel load on as well. Remember, he goes to the inside. Owasa dives to the right hand side. They nearly make contact. Wheel to wheel stuff between the two. Owasa takes the lead. And further back as well. That's Martins trying to look on the inside of Oliver Behrman, and he's taken him. Martins up into 6th position as well. Behrman down to 7th. And there's a spinner in the middle of the pack. Right in the middle, it's the 3. And he's going to block the track. They all go left and right. It's right in the centre of the track. It's Zane Maloney, who's gone down, down, and down. It's lucky no one hit him. Has he stalled the engine, though?
I think he
It
did.
may look like it, yeah.
Well, we've got no yellows. Those could be now we've got a yellow. Could be safety car. We'll keep an eye on it, though. Here's
Yeah, he
safety
spun by
car.
himself. This is Pucher as well there, the battle. I think he spun all by himself. There was no contact. So we can see him on the wider line, maybe a bit more
Yeah.
dust on the outside there, and
Losing the
just
rear
spinning by
completely.
himself.
Go on, Richie.
It's a bit of an odd line to take as well, and safety car, so we did stall the engine. But yeah, it's a weird line to take, especially when you have to take the more wide line at a turn 2. It's a little bit off cambered, so with the F2 cars, the rear can be very.
Are you running? No.
Oh. So yeah, he has stalled the engine. But yeah, the rear can be really unstable, especially coming out of turn 2 there. So it's a fault of his own, but sometimes, you know, it's not fully down to the driver. It's also down to the car and the track. But big shame for Maloney. He was looking really quick, wasn't he, in Bahrain? Absolutely amazing performance, got himself onto the podium. But unfortunately, in the sprint race here at Jeddah, he's not going to be scoring any points. He won't even finish the race. Big shame.
Talk us through the start, Tim.
Yeah, we're going to see the start here. Very good start then from the pole sitter, of course. And, Boschung really losing the position already in 2nd place by Iwasa, of course, from P4, where he's now down into the lead as well. Somehow they all managed to make it through the first 2 corners, but then here you can see 3 wide. Look at that, and some cars having to go off the track there to avoid a collision. Maybe we're gonna see some leaving track and gaining advantage penalties coming, because there was quite a lot of drama going there.
Here's Behrman, Richie, as well. He had a difficult start.
Yeah, he did. He gained a few positions. That is, I think, is it Doohan or Martins locking up there?
Doohan.
Then at turn 1, and I believe, a bit of a knock, but I believe this was Behrman, the one who went up the inside at turn 3 as we go on board. You can see, bit of early braking there for Martins or Doohan, one of the two. And Behrman basically taking avoiding action there, going up the inside, worked though, got himself up into 6th. And when I watch Behrman's driving, he always reminds me a bit of Max Verstappen. He's always really aggressive and wanting to make as many positions as possible. And it worked, but then again, it is a very risky track, isn't it, to be making these aggressive moves.
Yeah, there's Doohan's lock-up as well, coming through as well. We're just seeing on our screens, and This is on board with Victor Martins closing in. Synthil's lost pictures at the moment, so he'll try and get back in shortly. He's still here though, can't you, Richie? You can hear us. Synthil.
Yeah, I can see it on my iPad still, but for some reason my laptop is closed.
Well, I can't see Baron being under any investigation for that though, because Doohan had more than enough space to stay on the track. He just chose to go off to make it a bit more safer.
Yeah.
And Kushmani on the outside, starting to turn one. Very nice start. Looking also to get Ralph Bushung, but just not the best exit. So he's stuck in that 4th position. But it's really good, isn't it, for Bushung and Miney to be working together. They had a great weekend in Bahrain, so it'd be nice to replicate that here in Bahrain. And there we are, Wasser and Crawford nearly touching. Then that made straight to the braking zone, and then that's where the safety car came. Oh no, it wasn't. That's where Maloney missed one, and then the safety car came out just after that. But big shame for Maloney. It's definitely not what he wants, and it could even hinder his performance going into the feature race. You know, he might be a bit more worried of not wanting to make that mistake again, so not as pushing as hard. But
is your laptop going to come back? Do you reckon?
I hope so. It's loading very slowly now. So.
All right then. We'll stay off, but we'll stay on this camera then, the battle screen for now. So we're still in the safety car, and probably will be for another lap or so. So we've got another 3 minutes.
Yeah, but Iwasa, really nice start, and I think personally he's a bit of a better driver than Crawford. So I think if you can get a 1 second gap to Crawford, that can then possibly secure it for Iwasa. As long as he doesn't make mistakes, he's a driver that doesn't make too many mistakes, especially when he's in the lead. So it could be looking for good for Iwasa. Boschong and Miney also wanting to be getting through on Crawford to get both. What team are they in now? Because I forgot that logo.
Boschong is down there as well with Campos Racing with Maney as well. Crawford is, of course, with the High Tech. And Iwasa out there as well, leading the race. He is with the Dams team as well as there is Zane Maloney, who is with Roding Carlin out of the race.
So yeah, Campos definitely wanted to get this double podium. They've already got one driver on the podium. It'd be perfect for the championship.
Yes, Josh, if you want to pop in as a placeholder and get the graphics back until the laptop comes back, that's perfect, mate. Thank you. Because then we get the placeholder back for the cameras. Thank you, Josh. As it comes to...
I was going to say, great start from Nassani as well, making up 4 positions on the start. Doohan and Poucher losing out by 2, so it's not good for the championship leader, is it, going into this raid? Obviously, Boschung is his championship rival, he's up in 3rd, and the safety car is coming in this lap. They'll be getting back under race in 4, I think lap 5. It's a bit different, isn't it? It says laps completed, not what lap we're on.
So it will restart on lap 5. 1 lap 4 now, but we've completed 3 laps, and luckily I can have a soother during this because that start... I haven't got COVID, but I do have a sore throat, and that's due to heating and the weather in the UK right now. So I can have and Megan's got a sore throat as well, so I'll probably call it off here. So I'm having a soother in between the session here while we've got the time.
But I've got to say, it's a big shame as well for Leclerc, obviously having that really... I think it's something he spun, didn't he? Installed the engine on qualifying, obviously ended the session early and wasn't able to improve. And he was looking on a good lap as well, wasn't he, in that first and middle sector? So big shame for Leclerc. So in Bahrain he made lots of issues, didn't he, under braking. Luckily the braking zone aren't as crucial here, are they? Really, you got turn 1 and turn 27, and that's it really when it comes to major braking. So hopefully Leclerc can get some good positions.
Synth, what was your take on that? Because it was a really strange thing for Leclerc, out of 22, and the car just stopped dead. It was really strange.
Yeah, it's easy to do. You lose the rear end around this. I'm not sure why. Is it maybe because you turn in a bit too late? It's more dusty on the exit. Not too sure, but we've seen a lot of spins already and some close moments in Formula 1 as well. So it's not just Formula 2, but here in Formula 1 it happened as well. I think Leclerc also had a moment. I think turn 17 it was, when he hit the wall with his right rear and then his suspension broke.
Here we go.
He's had struggling this weekend.
Coming to the restart then, the safety car will disappear and then we'll head back to green, starting on lap 5 of this race. Iwasa leads, Crawford, Boschong, Maney, Druvela, Behrman, Martins, Doohan, Poucher, Vesti the top 10, Correa, Leclerc, Nazani, Hauger, Fittipaldi, Novalak, Hadjar, Vachon, Cordial, And then we get Benedives, Stanek and Maloney. The safety car can come in, but this is what we saw back in Bahrain. It's the DRS chicken all the way down towards turn 1. Don't give him any slipstream. Away we go once again as we take the green flag in Jeddah. Round the outside, Boschong's going to try and go for the move on Crawford. Jeruvala going for the move on Maney. All round the outside to turn number 1 as well. Can they hold it round the outside? Boschong's going for second and takes it. Maney, can he get through now? Can take it back, Jeruvala. No, here comes Behrman. So Maney losing 2 places. Here back on the inside. No, Crawford can't go through there. So Maney losing 2 places on the restart. Jeruvala 4th, Behrman 5th. All is well. Good restart there for Wassa to keep the lead. Boschong to 2nd place.
Yeah, Porsche was looking to try and capitalise off the start, but couldn't get Martins into turn 1, so he's still stuck down in 8th. And really, he wants to be in that top 5, doesn't he? Especially when he's competing in the championship.
Oh, off the chat there. That was Roman Stanek. Oh, and more going on the inside. That's Dewan on the inside, getting through, I believe. No, that's for sure Hadjar. Yeah, that's Martins on Maney. Thank you, Synth. Yeah. What do you make of the restart then, Synth? And how's your laptop?
My laptop is just turned on, so let's hope I can rejoin real quick. So, yeah, horrible restart there by Maney. His start was not too well either, so he's been struggling so far. So let's see if he can try and fight back. And good restart then by Ralph Boschong getting back there. So let's see how the rest of the race will turn out. No DRS just yet again, which will happen 2 laps after the restart.
Yeah, we've got to wait for that.
Not having the best start at all. He's now already 1.2 seconds off the back of Boschong. So when the DRS does begin, Crawford won't get any. So then we'll put him under some pressure from Deruvala, and Deruvala going for a bit of a dummy move into turn 27, backs off, and will possibly look for it once the DRS opens and get it down in towards turn 1. Behrman will also be looking for the attack on Deruvala as well as they head down the main straight.
Boschong's in the slipstream of Awasa, and I think he was going for it, and here comes further back as well. That's Behrman trying to pass Deruvala, diving through. Theo Portier saying thank you very much to Kush Maney, and diving into turn 1 into 7th position. Fantastic there on the inside line. Had just passed Novalak further back as well for 16th and 17th position. Awasa leads. Boschong, Crawford, Deruvala, Behrman in the top 5, but Theo Portier is the one to watch. The championship leader on 32 points to Boschong's 28. He knows he's at a disadvantage in this sprint race. He wants to get up there ASAP.
Yeah, very well done by Theo Portier. He knows he's in the championship fight, so it just gives him that extra bit of motivation, and you can see the moves, the incredible dive down into that turn 1. So yeah, I think he's the one to watch this race as well, and for the whole season.
Here's a replay of the Campos of Kush Maney. He's down into 8th position now as well. And he looked for he was 4th, remember, so he's lost a lot of positions. Into turn 1 and 2. Is he going to get bumped out wide? Yes.
Carvalho almost put me in the wall.
Yeah, and that's when...
I thought he said Callum then for a second, but it wasn't. It was probably Crawford as well he was on about. Put him into the position. And this, I believe, look further back in your picture, because this is Portier. That was such a late move into T1, and he nearly went into the back of... yeah, he did actually nearly went back into the back of Dewan. It's great stuff, isn't it?
I'm looking at the sector times and the lap times, and Crawford on the last lap was 1.2 seconds slower than Boschong and Awasa. So, lacking pace, and Awasa goes quickest. No, sorry, Deruvala goes quickest at 46.5. Crawford still 4/10 off of him, so Crawford not having the ultimate pace that he should be wanting.
There goes Deruvala right round the outside into 3rd position. Crawford's dealt with exactly as you said. Portier now making the contact. Out goes Portier. He dived on the inside and he's hit Oliver Behrman off into turn number 1. Oh, Portier, your chance has gone. Yellow flag out. It'll be a safety car. Portier T-bones the side of Oliver Behrman, and you can't write the championship. It's changed again in race 3.
I'll be honest, that was absolutely stupid from Theo Portier. He had no space at all to make that move, and he sent it 2/10 back. That was a rookie mistake, a mistake Portier should not be making. He did it on Maney, and he probably thought, right, you know what, Behrman will open the door for me. Behrman won't, so that's a bad move for Portier. Big shame as well, he'll drop down to 21st and safety car. That was a big collision though.
Since that was a bit ridiculous there.
Yeah, I said he was getting a bit more confidence because he was in title fight, but there was a bit overconfidence. He braked way too late, and I think And the moment he braked, it was clear that he was going to run into the side of Oliver Behrman.
You
Behrman
can see.
really innocent in that incident.
Pocher, I think
Pocher.
is my fault. I do apologise. Oh, that is nice. That Pocher apologises to Oliver Behrman. That is a gentleman racer, Thierry Pocher there, apologising to Oliver Behrman. I don't think he saw him. I don't think he expected him to be there at turn 1 at the braking point. But it has put both of them out. It has brought out our second safety car. It looks like we might be going to a timed race as well, by the way. We've done 6 of the 20 laps, and we have 29 minutes remaining of the race, plus 1 lap. With this second safety car period, I wouldn't be at all surprised if the time comes into fruition. Race control, safety car through the pit lane.
But you can see Porsche knew he was at fault there. But I suppose once you're committed on making that move, you can't back out when it's turn 1 at Saudi Arabia. So Porsche couldn't really just choose to back out once he made it. He's like, well, you know, they're just gonna collect each other and go into the barriers at turn 1. But this is even better now for Iwasa. Boschung's over, not having Porsche on the back and Behrman. Then with 2 of the quickest drivers actually setting really good times. So that takes 2 of the main rivals of that top 5 out of it. Promotes Martins up to 5th, Maney up to 6th now after he lost into 8th, but gained 2 positions, doing up to 7th. Leclerc now into that top 10 along with Hauger.
So the car's coming to the pit lane. Synth has got his laptop back as well, and perfect. Thank you to Josh as well for stepping in as the placeholder as the 4th person, so we can keep our cameras the same. Synth, this is now the second safety car. Do you remember last year? I think you were with me, and Josh was there too. Actually, I'll hold that point. Here's on board with Victor Martins. Pourchair's going to come up the inside of him. Ready? Here he goes, and Angry Birds.
You look at that and you think, no, it's
nearly went over the top of him as well. Actually, he nearly got launched.
Yeah.
What do you think, Synth?
I think it.
Yeah, it's a scary incident. You can see him, Behrman just turning in without expecting anything, and then team radio.
Oh my god.
I'm out. Oh my god.
It would have been a big scare for Behrman as well. Not expecting Porsche just to, and he lifted up in the air as well.
Yeah.
Luckily, the shunt wasn't too hard, being as it was in a braking zone, but still, they would have definitely felt that one for sure.
And God for the halo.
I'm sure Porsche will probably have a big, well not big, but he'll have some kind of penalty for that because it's not a type of thing anyone should be doing. And to think of how good of a driver Porsche is, one of the best in F2, that it's not very often you see making those type of mistakes, is it?
No, it isn't, is it? And since we were talking about Porsche, and yesterday actually about does he deserve to sit in F1 and all that lot, and it's one of those rookie errors you see, which is bizarre to see from him, but he's going for a championship. We talked about it in Bahrain. He needs a perfect season. He doesn't need these accidents and lost points.
Boschung looking pretty consistent.
Oh God, yeah, you're right.
Second.
Yeah, Boschung's going to take the
this
championship
is-
lead. Yeah.
He will if he finishes in the second.
Yeah, go on,
And-
Synth.
Yeah, I think because Pocher is in the championship fight, I think he's thinking that he can, maybe just a bit overconfident and just wants to win so much now, and he knows this may be his only chance, and that these things can happen. Where he'll definitely going to learn from this, that's for sure. And this maybe should have happened before going into Formula 1. I do think he will get a Formula 1 seat very soon. I still think he deserves it, but this should not happen.
That's quite good for us, mate. That's clearly a penalty for Porsche, so that's 1 position too far, mate. He's just not dude.
Dura's just been thought it's clearly a penalty for Pocher tomorrow, and Dura's going to start higher on the grid as a result, which I think is fantastic. Jess's reaction to that was no. And Josh has also apologised to you, Richie, saying, sorry, Richie, I can see you are so disappointed with one of your favourite drivers being Oliver Behrman. Twitter's going
He's my favourite
mad.
driver too in Formula 2.
Oh, of course he is. We talked about that, didn't we, in Bahrain practice 1? Oh, yeah. Oh, well, I apologise to you too, Synth. Oh, this is... Let's have it. What? Josh, we're on Twitter. Josh, come back into the commentary box. Talk to us about this from the pit lane. We'll go into the battle screens. Come back in the box. Talk to us. What's happening on Twitter while we're into the safety car?
Josh,
Yeah.
one quick thing. One of the worst parts is I've not always been fond of Teo Porsche either. So one of my least favourites taking out my favourite. It's not very good at all.
Right, so car's going through the pit lane. Night has fallen, but Josh is with us now. Josh, what's happening with Twitter? Because I can't see it as you can.
Basically, my following tab has absolutely exploded with just Theo ... and just tons of stuff about Theo Porcher. It's quite funny, to be honest. You've got George Morgan, you've got Chris Medland, you've got
Oh yeah.
some WTF1 people which I saw on the search tab when I did hashtag F2.
What did you think of it then, Josh? Because look, this is on Bear with Bearman. He just chair comes in and goes bang.
It's a bit stupid, to be honest. Let's be honest.
The guy is crazy. He was doing the same in Bahrain.
Yeah, Tomo saying bloody hell, Tio had an absolute stinker there. Philip Horton, Tio Porcher needs a big season to stake a claim for that F1 seat. Go on, Richie.
The one comment on Twitter, the Porsche Teo Porcher pulling off an average league racing overtake, ending in a crash.
Sounds about right, doesn't it? Yeah. Right.
Says that on board with Martins looked like Porsche didn't even try and make the corner. Man came in so hot.
That angle.
But
I think this once again proves why we have the halo. I think maybe it wouldn't have hit him, but just a little bit higher, which could have easily happened. And yeah, the halo I think is still very proving itself right every time again.
And I think the big shameful part is, no matter how much Teo says sorry, he's still done it, hasn't he?
He's put his helmet back on.
It doesn't take. He had his helmet on the whole time. It's Bearman who took his helmet off. But it still doesn't take away the fact he just completely broke himself. It's like he didn't even see Bearman at all when he was literally there next to him. I think he was originally just going for the move on Martins, but I don't think he was even considering getting Bearman. But then Bearman turned in on the normal line and he just didn't. I don't even think that if Bearman was there, Tay would have made the corner. I think he would have gone straight on and went off at turn 1.
No brakes at all.
Yeah.
Oh, safety car's coming in this lap. Okay. Thanks, Josh. We'll get back to you later. We'll drag you in.
No worries.
See you for
See
quali.
you later.
See you later for quali. So yeah, Twitter's gone mad. Thanks to Josh coming in. Sid, another restart. What are you expecting?
Well, I hope we can see some racing this time out. We can make it until the DRS is getting deployed, and I don't hope we can see too much crashes anymore because I don't want this race to get towards the finish. So yeah, and just getting back to what Richard said, I think he was looking. Who was he trying to overtake again? Was it
Martin?
Doohan?
Martin.
Sorry, yeah. He was just looking at Martin because Martin nearly ran into the back of Bearman as well. So he was, I think, looking at Martin and just wanted to brake later than him, and well, he wasn't looking in front of him, and that's why we hit Bearman.
Well, here we go again then. We have about 11 laps to go. 22 minutes plus 1 lap to do it. It's possible. Safety car has been rescinded, and Iwasa has gone very early, coming into the last corner. Green flag, we are racing again, but is that such a wise idea? Because cars are going to get the slipstream down towards turn number 1. And already, Crawford's having a little look, Martin's having a little look at the back of him as well. Iwasa's so confident down towards turn 1, he's warming his tyres, but on the inside, Victor Martin's going late on the brakes, gets through into 4th position ahead of Crawford. No crashes so far as the sun has set and the lights take over. We're halfway in this race at the moment. And it's looking a bit clean restart. As Josh says, George Morgan says, Roy Keane would have been proud of that tackle from Theo Porcher.
Well, great start from Iwasa again. I think he started I think he went just before the braking zone into 27, didn't he? Because he got that big gap. He thought, you know what, we'll just plant it on the exit at 27 and get a nice slipstream to 1. And also, that's mine 8, I think.
Right around the outside of Crawford, and it's a little bit of high line to achieve it. It filters out just a bit carefully there. Don't go too close towards the wall. They're side by side still. Maney's giving it all and gets through and shuts the door into turn 18 and 19. Great move from Kush Maney.
And Crawford just losing solid positions.
That was a very good move. He knows, I think, that's turn 13. Around the outside, it's a little bit more banked. So I think that's why it's more possible to go around the outside in that corner. So very well done by Chris Maney up to P5.
So, Maney, oh, he's got a bit wide and takes the exit curve as well. Is that going to allow Doohan to have a little bit of a run in him down towards turn 27? The stewards have said that the incident involving Portier and Behrman will be investigated after the race for causing a collision. Doohan has got right on the back of Crawford in towards turn 27, but already Crawford wants to move back on the inside of Maney. Goes in deep. Maney gets the cut back. Now the DRS will be active this lap with 2 laps after, but the slipstream's good enough. Right round the outside this time for Kush Maney, and makes it 3 wide as Doohan on the inside on the dust of the pit wall in towards turn number 1. Maney shuts the door on the inside line, and now side by side here comes Vesti on the inside in the second Prima trying to get through. Doohan's trying to get past Crawford, hasn't worked out. Maney 5th, Crawford 6th. Doohan now in a battle with Vesti, and it's all action wherever you look in the midfield. I'm out of breath.
Yeah, 3 wide towards turn 1. Luckily it wasn't 3 wide when he headed into turn 1, but well, that was very close. They have yeah, a lot of confidence, that's for sure, going 3 wide into on the main straight, so there was just about enough room on the inside there.
Down in towards turn 13 once again. Awasa has got a 4/10 advantage over Boschung as well, so DRS is activated this lap for the first time in this race. So it's after 2 laps of the safety car restart this year, not 3. So everyone's going to be having it for the first time as they head down out of turn 19 towards turn 21 as well. So this is going to be really close stuff to see who's going to get the better acceleration and get the better speed. On board, there's Awasa, there's Boschung, there's Jeruvala. 1, 2, 3 in a battle here in the sprint race, and a little bit outside of that actually as well is Victor Martin starting to close back up. Jeruvala's outside a second to the leader, but he will have the DRS on Boschung. You can see the wing activated now as they head down towards T27. And on the inside, Jeruvala's going for the move on Boschung and makes the move stick. Boschung will have to do the cutback on the accelerator. Didn't get it and nearly into the wall there. But now the slipstream battle begins again towards turn 1. There's the DRS active once again. Boschung pulls to the outside line. Awasa's going to be a sitting down because they're right there together as well. Boschung wants second position. Jeruvala's going to make it as hard as possible. They're going to make contact. They just about avoid it. Great side by side. Boschung retakes second.
Yeah, and Miney losing absolute pace. He's what, 2 seconds off the back of Martin, so that's his kind of battle for top 4 over. He wants to try and secure that 5th. Crawford nearly outside that 1 second gap to him as well. So if Miney can get Crawford outside the 1 second gap, that could be quite comfortable for Miney, really. Just stick in that 5th position and not have a DRS in front, but then not have DRS behind. So it's...
Since we saw this back in Bahrain, Jeruvala under investigation for starting procedure infringement. That's usually a time penalty in the pits, isn't it?
Yeah, oh, that's again, somehow they've managed to do something wrong, and that's very unfortunate, especially I think because Jeruvala is in a very good position to win this race. He's got a lot of pace. He's nearly overtaking Boschung, and then Iwasa is not able to pull away just yet. So I think he could be able to get into the lead later on, but yeah, that if he could get a penalty for that, that's not going to help at all.
Look at this one, Jeruvala with the DRS. Now he's racing under an investigation. The team won't tell him that until they get a penalty. You don't want to worry him and start second-guessing yourself. But right now, we've got Martins joining the battle as well. It's the top 4 in a fight for this lead. They are separated by 1.4 seconds. All of them will have DRS bar Awasa. And now Jeruvala down towards turn 27 is going to think about a dive bomb. Doesn't. Wants to get the detection point and activation down the start line to defend from Martins just behind him. He's got the fast lap of the race. At a 1:45.588. Down we go again towards turn number 1. Awasa is cleared by half a second, but Jeruvala's going to go around the outside. Boschung goes to the inside to go defensive as well. Jeruvala says, okay, I'll sling it around the outside, get the cut back into 2, and take the position number 2. Martin's coming 2, and actually, great exit from Boschung. Might do it into the cutback section at turn 4. Well, this is getting entertaining. What a racetrack Jeddah is. And in Formula 2, it comes alive.
Yeah, and that's clear to see the more experience from Boschung, because he would have braked later if Iwasa wasn't there, otherwise he would have hit him just the same way Pocher did.
Richie?
I was going to say, Jeruvala's on absolute amazing pace. Currently, he's gained 4/10 on Iwasa in that first sector, so currently this is looking like, if he doesn't get a penalty, a good position for Jeruvala to win the race. Martin's also gained a lot on Boschung. Boschung having a really weird line, win out of 13. So that's going to bring Martins within 3/10. Mine is also started to gain back. They got 1.1 seconds between Maney and Martins. And no further investigations of the Ruvla. They've still got a chance to possibly win the race, but he's now 9 tenths behind Iwasa as they come through the long middle sector in towards turns 22 and 23. A difficult place to get right. We've seen a lot of Formula 1 cars go off there. I'm not quite sure about the Formula 2 cars, but when they're slower, they should be able to make it through a little bit easier. And I believe that was doing on the back of Crawford there, as they're coming down towards 27, and he's gaining, and that's Martins on the back of Boschong.
Yeah, so Duran was on the back of Crawford. Look, he's only 2 tenths back, but now Martins on the back of Boschong in the other ART car with the BWT livery, but Martins' car slightly different tinge as well with the silver back. Down we go towards turn number 1 again. Druvela is a sitting duck because he can't get anything closer towards Iwasa. Boschong is massively out of pace. Martins going for third on the inside. And that's going to be easy to take because I don't think Boschong could have defended it even if he wanted to. There's something not quite right with his tyres there, I don't think.
Yeah, Boschong lives in, and it's more in the straight line. In the corners, he can keep up pretty well. But when it comes to the straight line speed, he's got hardly any. And there we see a replay of Martins getting through on Boschong down towards turn 1. Pretty easy overtake for Martins. I have to break a little bit later, but Boschong not being able to defend at all, really. You can just see gaining absolutely tons of time on Boschong there into turn 1 and got it pretty done. Very nice to see Martins get a P3, considering he started down in 10th. A third place would be nice, and then in the feature race tomorrow, he starts on the front row in first. So this is a really good opportunity for Martins to get some really good points in this weekend.
So is anyone standing out for you right now in terms of who could be a potential winner? Because right now, yes, Iwasa leads, but there's so many right there on the cusp to take it.
Yeah, a lot to see this. I think nearly everyone on this grid has DRS right now, so it's a massive train from P1 all the way nearly to the back of the grid, so that's great to see. I think Jan Ruvla is in the best position now to win this race, but anything can happen still with Victor Martins right behind them, so I think we get a very interesting race. Let's hope no safety car will ruin this, because I think we've got a very good battle.
Coming on the inside, on board with Victor Martins. He's looking ahead to the top 2 that have closed up together. Druvela now closed in, 5 tenths the gap. Martins in it too, so the top 3 separated by a second. There's one more. Correa passes Fittipaldi, and now Fittipaldi passes Correa once again over the battle for 12th and 13th. In towards turn 1, Martins with the fastest lap. Druvela going to go right round the outside with a late break. Has to cut the corner at turn 2, and Iwasa will get the lead back, but crucially, can he slip in between Druvela himself and Martins? He does. Martins is right there with the fastest lap, and Fittipaldi's dropped down to 14th. Correa and Hadjav passed pair of them, and that was a bit of a Pourchaire style move, and now it's costing him because here comes Martins.
Yeah, and Druvela there showing pure sportsmanship. He went off track. He could have made the corner anyway, but you know, he let Iwasa back through, which is nice of him to do. Martins is now also on the back of him, and Boschong, I was going to mention, going into 27 was 1.4 seconds back off Martins at one point, and Moni was in 6 or 7 tenths. So at this point, I could possibly see the Campos crew saying, you know what, let's swap Boschong and Moni around, just see what Moni can do, and if not, we can swap them back near the end, because we've still got 5 laps to go. And with these F2 cars, because they're pretty much identical cars, in terms of the way they're built, it's very easy for someone who's a good driver just to get lots of pace on the others.
Iwasa, go on, Sid.
Yeah, I think Druvela could have backed out of that and made the corner, but I think he was very clever by cutting the corner, because now he's still ahead of Martin. So I think he definitely could have backed out of it, but still with a bit of dust on his tires maybe. After cutting turn 1, he's under pressure immediately now as well by Victor Martins.
Martin's going to pull to the outside before turn 26 is complete. He's got a long way round at 27. It's not going to work out. The cutback will be the opportunity to look for. Nearly touching the wall was Druvela. He's pushing everything he's got down there, but Martins is right on the back of him as well. Pulls to the inside line. Druvela with the DRS on Iwasa. Can't seem to get through, and it's just the DRS train. But look at Iwasa, like a sitting duck, and round the outside comes Druvela. Martins locks up, nearly runs into the back of Druvela in the MP, and that's allowed Boschong to close back up, and Maney and Crawford. They're all closing in now. Well, take a pick. A lottery ball, please, everybody, to see who's going to win this race. There's no clue as to what could happen.
Yeah, I think Martins would have gone ahead of him if it wasn't in defend the inside.
Looking at it as they come back, the first DRS zone is approaching. It's at the exit of turn 17, which if you say that on a normal track, people are going, what? That's near the end of the lap. But 27 turns in this track as well, so it comes around, and that's Maney having a look at Boschong as well at T13. Let's take a replay of what happened to T1 Synth.
Yeah, we can see Martin is there. Look, it was going down the inside, really blocking Martin there, who locked up as well. Then luckily didn't make contact with him, but yeah. So there's still the top three the same, and you can see the Rubla also nearly again going around the outside. But yeah, it's still very close together. The top, well, top everyone, the top 10 all have DRS on each other. So yeah, it's an incredible battle, and they're all behind there watching. If something goes wrong, they're going to attack. So yeah, we have no idea who's going to win. It could be anyone, maybe even in the top 5.
Really as pushing as they continue on then. Now, I'm trying to have a look. The entire, I think it's all the way down to Nazani, isn't it, in 11th position, who doesn't have this DRS train. That's Vesti on the inside of Dewan at turn 27, making the move, and a sweet one as well. But now it's immediately going to be made undone because Dewan's going to have the DRS and the better exit. But meantime, Jeruvala going for the lead of the race, pulls to the outside line towards turn number 1, trying to get the slipstream as well. Owasa breaks late and goes off the track, round the outside, trying, comes Jeruvala, but Martin sweeps through. Martin takes second position away from Jeruvala, who got compromised by Owasa running off the track. This is amazing, Synth. I can see you're holding on.
Yeah, I think he was just within the track, so within the track limits. We have got to see a replay of that, but was he within the lines or not? It was very close, that's for sure. So, and yeah, very well done by Martin. He's just waiting behind patiently, and then he saw that gap and went for it. And Jeruvala maybe a little bit too optimistic going around, trying to go around there. So, as you see, the two Campos behind him as well, going very close to each other. So, oh, that was very close for sure.
Unbelievable, Richie. Talk us to it again.
Yep, and there we can see Martin's gaining, obviously way too far back, but Jeruvala going for it. Owasa broke late, very close to the track limits there, and then Jeruvala went wide on the exit, and Martin just went straight through. Pretty easy for Martins, and he'll definitely be taking that, because now we can look for possibly fighting for the win. He's 7/10 to the back of Owasa now as they come down towards turns 22 and 23, and Miney also right on the back of Boschung still, as they come through the end of this middle sector. And I wouldn't be surprised if Miney goes for an overtake on his teammate down towards 27. But Martin's going to have DRS. I mean, he will have DRS going down to 27, but won't be able to make a move just yet. Yeah. And over that, still 6/10 back, so he's lost that big advantage he had. Martin's 4/10 behind Owasa, very close. Let's see if he can get a move going into turn 1. Jeruvala also gaining under the brake in that, so we could see these three going at it again as we go down to turn 1. Crawford also gaining a bit on Miney as well into turn 27, but Martin's with the DRS on Owasa down the main straight. I don't think he's going to be close enough. No, he's not. Owasa been able to defend perfectly.
Look at Leclerc with Leclerc on the inside. Hauger coming around the outside. There's a little bit of contact between the two as Hauger locked up. He does take 9th place back. They were battling coming into the last corner as well. But Hadjar's passed Romano Correa, and Leclerc still battling massively further back there as well with Hauger at 9th and 10th position. Nizani's just at the end of that battle, and Al Fittipaldi passing Correa. They're swapping forward as well. We are into the last 3 laps of the race. It's lap 18 and 20. Still no clue who can win the race. The top 11 are all in a shout of getting this sprint race win. And you just dream, don't you, Sid, that the Formula 1 could be like this on Sunday?
Yeah, definitely. I doubt it will be because, well, we can see the Red Bulls were very quick. So, but we can hope that everyone is going to be as close as this. But we've got an incredible train going on here. And maybe Martin should try and wait until the last lap and try to wait for the long game. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting if Jeruvala is going to be first to attack Martins, or Martins can attack Owasa first. And if they collide, it may be one of the Campos. It may be Ralph Boschung taking his second win. We won't know until the final lap of the race.
Yeah, pushing hard, continuing on then as they continue down here in towards turn 27 as they come through. Jeruvala trying to take it back, not going to work it. Martin trying to run Owasa, nothing. So it'll be down to turn 1 again. We'll see the overtakes. That's Vesti trying to get past in Crawford. Has he managed it? Pictures waiting to caught up. No, Vesti still behind Crawford as he exits T27. Now we'll have the DRS down the start-finish straight once again. Pulls to the outside line. Vesti should easily have that as for sure passage one more Correa, and they're side by side actually as well. Vesti trying to shut the door. Crawford just about stays in, but Vesti takes 6th position. Bad day for Crawford, dropping from the lead to 7th, as you said earlier, Richie.
Vesti nearly hit the back of my lead to turn 1. That was a really close one. But still, great start from Vesti. 9th up to 6th. Martin, so 10th up to a possible 1st. He's within 2/10 of Iwasano as they come through the end of this first sector. And also Daruvala within 2/10 as well. So let's see. I think I need these top 3 in it to win it. I'm not sure about Bosch and Gudmani. I don't think they're going to be able to get 3 positions in 1 lap. But I think between Daruva and Martins and Iwasa, that will be definitely the top 3. But which one takes first? I can't really call. Because all we need is a similar situation to like what happened when Martins got through under Ruvala. You don't see it coming, but it happens. So it's going to be very interesting. I think the person who wins the race will be the person who's in first, beginning the final lap. So whoever, if Martins can get through an Iwasa onto lap 20, I think that will then possibly be Martins being able to secure it. If Iwasa can keep the lead, that will most likely be Iwasa winning the race. But the Ruvala also gained on the back of Martins as they now come down into the final sector, and the DRS will be open shortly for Martins as now he gains on Iwasa. 6.9 tenths back, obviously not going to be close enough to make a move into 27, 5 tenths.
Yeah.
And I think he gets just into about 3 tenths there on the back of Martins. Now he needs to push and push and push to get through an Iwasa, then into turn 1. He's got the DRS, he's 5.5 tenths back.
Is he going to do it?
Still make it.
It's the last lap of the sprint race, and the Wassa leads 4 tenths, 3 tenths, 2 tenths, closing down every second. Round the outside, Martin's going for it, and Doohan has passed Crawford as well. Another lock up from Iwasa. Doohan tries to come back, hasn't worked out. Nazani's passed Leclerc, he's down into 11th place. Cynthia, who are you going for in this little battle?
Oh, it could be very close. I think the way this track is built, this could go down all the way to the final corner of this race.
Look at Martins!
Martins is so close to this part. I think Martins might take him in the final corner.
Martins was so good in Formula 3 last year. It's his first season in Formula 2. It's his 3rd race, and he's already up to speed. And now he's going for the race win. How good it would have been if Porcher and Behrman were in this fight as well, but they got taken out early on in the race as well. Round turn 13. Now it begins with the DRS train as well, down out of turn 17, because this is where we're going to see the slipstream battles. Can Daruvala go through? What about Boschung? They're just about in it. But is it going to be between Iwasa and Martins? That's the question as we now start the DRS play.
Yep, 7 tenths between the two. So Iwasa pushing more and more. He needs to push 8 tenths. If you can get Martins about 7 tenths behind going out of turn 22, that's what he needs.
Here we go.
6 tenths. Let's see how close is Iwasa on the exit before the DRS opens. He'll be about 6 tenths.
9.
Second, 9 tenths.
It's
so
done.
Iwasa looking like he's going to secure this as they now come down to turn 27 for the final time.
That's a question that can Daruvala hold on for 3rd position, or we take 2nd position as well into the last corner? It's all a bit too close to call. I think he's done it. No one's making big moves. Iwasa is going to take his 1st win of the year, and he's going to win a fantastic sprint race here in Jeddah. Martins is 2nd, Daruvala 3rd, Boschung 4th, and now with the championship lead, Maney, Vesti, Doohan, Hauger, Crawford. Hauger 8th across the line. Crawford 9th, Nazani, Leclerc, Hadjar, Fittipaldi. Wow, Synth.
Yeah, you saw Hauger and Crawford going side by side on the line, and Hauger just managed to get him with 23 thousandths of a second. So that was very close, a drag race towards the line.
Finish it with 2 minutes and 7 seconds to go, the exact time that both sessions so far this weekend in practice and qualifying have been called at, with red flags and not being restarted. That's a coincidence and a half, isn't it? As they come across, Iwasa wins here. Go on, Richie.
Boschung takes the championship lead by 1 point.
Oh.
33 to 32.
It's Iwasa's 3rd win of his career, and the first since he won the feature race at Abu Dhabi. That Marshall's just pointing to the top 3 saying, come in here, but nope, they've got to go round. Everybody else goes through.
Iwasa also up to 3rd in the standings. He scored more points than Miney, Verschoor and Maloney, and I think that is enough for him to take 3rd.
Let's
hear
hear
that sprint race win.
Let's hear from him.
Yay! Yeah, very good job.
Oh, wow. Yeah, man a few words, isn't he? The team and Iwasa. There's absolutely nothing as well. Are we going to hear anything from Martins, though, with a second ever podium in 2 weekends as well?
But watching Iwasari's defence was absolutely amazing, especially going down into turn 1. He knows exactly where to place that car, and it works near enough every single time. He's a bit under pressure from Derulo and Martins. I think it was about lap 17, but apart from that.
Ok, excellent. P2, restez lap. C'est bien, très très bon. Yes! Good job.
They don't sound very excited today, do they?
Yeah, but this is only a sprint race, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's still 10-8 points as well, so it still matters, and it's still a race win. And a podium as well.
Second podium for Martins this season, coming out of Formula 3. Did really well. He won the championship, didn't he? Because I think it was Hajar leading F3 near enough the whole way, but then Martins, I think Behrman also gained up on the last few races, and Martins been able to take that championship. So really, really nice from Martins. And I think he's definitely going to be one of the top runners in this season for sure.
It'll be very exciting to see how things go at the moment, as we'll hear then Formo coming through. I just had to point out, Jess McFadden, who used to be at WTF1, said, if you watched FP3 on Sky, you caught my first time in the hot seat live producing the show. The adrenaline coursing through my veins right now. Well done, Jess. Here's Drubler.
The car was very good, so we can fight for the win tomorrow like this.
Well done, though, to Jess McFadden as well. Fantastic producer she's got there as well. Very much looking forward to her work at Sky and what she's been doing this season. Synth sprint race tomorrow. Sorry, synth feature race tomorrow. Are we going to see similar, or with the pit stops, is this going to be same old, same old?
Wow, I mean, it's incredible how close they were. Half the grid was within a second of each other. So I'm definitely hoping that we'll see that tomorrow. But because of the different strategies, I think we may not see that. However, maybe we can see more overtakes with the people trying the alternative strategy. That we'll see some, a lot of overtakes and maybe a safety car which would help one driver out. I think the feature race could be very, very interesting tomorrow.
They're stopping on the grid for the podium ceremonies as well in the interviews. I don't know if Sky are going to take us off here like they did in Bahrain when it was in between the two sessions, because that's what they'd like to do. And not see the podium ceremony, because they think that their qualifying show is more important than a podium ceremony as well. But we will soon see as the music gets pumped up. And out for the first time this year, for the third time in his career, Wassa wins. And yeah, it looks like they're going to go off here quite quickly because the qualifying segment has come up. Wassa. Yeah, there we go. I knew that was coming. Oh well.
I didn't enough straight away.
We'll get the podium tomorrow. Okay then, guys, let's wrap up because I'm going to head over to Grid Network for 20 minutes as well. Joe, if you're watching, we've had the race, so I couldn't join live. Since starting with you, what did you make of that race and going into tomorrow?
Well, I think tomorrow is going to be an even better race than today. I'm pretty sure we are in for a very, very good feature race, and I really enjoyed watching this race because it was so close to each other.
Richie?
Great racing today from all the top 3, even the top 10. Tomorrow, Behrman, I want him to take the win, but we'll have to see. Hopefully, we have no terrorism happen tomorrow into turn 1, so we'll have to see.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for your company. Thanks to you all at home as well. We'll be back in around about 40 minutes' time for qualifying as well. Josh and Richie are with me as well. We'll see you tomorrow, Synth, as well for the sessions. Well, thanks to all of you at home for watching. We'll see you later. But what a sprint it was. The feature has got to be better tomorrow. Even more action. Bring it on. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.